Should you buy a new build or a resale home? That's a big question on a lot of buyers' minds, especially since of the HST rebate that was announced earlier this year in Ontario. But it's always been a big topic on people's minds, looking at where is the best buy. And the truth is, it really depends on what you're looking for. So let's take a look at the pros and the cons of each. So the pros of a new build is you're going to get something that is new and clean and yours. You can pick the upgrades and design the home just to your own. But you're going to be limited on where that property is. There's only going to be certain communities that are being built at the time, and you're also going to be dealing with the construction and all that type of stuff when it goes on. Also, with a new build, the price that you're looking at is often not what you're going to end up having to put in it when you take a look at adding the upgrades, appliances, fencing, things like blinds, any landscaping there is to do. And then when we look at resale, you're going to have the advantage of being a little bit more picky on location, as you're going to have resale properties all over the city. You're also going to have mature neighborhoods where there's mature trees, the landscaping is already done, potentially the fence and all those things already done. Also, the neighborhood's going to be more established. The schools, the parks have already been built, which can often be something you're waiting for when you're getting to a brand new build community. But let's take a look at kind of the differences of the surprising pricing. Like when you're looking at a resale property, you're definitely going to have to keep in mind what is the age of the roof, the furnace, the windows, the doors, anything like that that could be coming due. Where the new build properties you're gonna find out the hidden costs a lot quicker, right? When you start to add up the different flooring and countertops and appliances and upgrades that you want in the home. The resale property might take a little bit further, as you're not gonna have a warranty on anything, and if the roof or the furnace or any of those goes, they're going to be a little bit later in incurring those costs. Looking back onto it, like what is overall going to be the best investment? That's another question that's typically for you. When we're looking at the resale market, you're going to have a lot more data. You're going to see all of the homes that have sold recently in the area. You're going to see the market trends and where the market's going. You're also going to be dealing specifically with a seller, and their circumstance of sale is going to be very dependent on the deal that you're going to get on that home, right? Some sellers are going to be not in a rush to move and are not even motivated to sell, are only looking to sell to get a certain price, where some sellers have already relocated to another home in the city or even out of the city and they need to sell. You're also going to have distressed sellers that unfortunately can't keep up with the payments of the home and may need to let it go as well. So when you're looking at the ticket price of those both, you're looking at two different things, because sometimes you can definitely get some negotiation with the new builds. It's very market dependent as well. Since we've seen a lot more people look at new builds since the HST rebate, the builders are being a lot stricter and negotiation. So a lot more times the price is going to be what you see. However, we have done multiple new builds since that announcement, even in the last couple of weeks, where we've negotiated big deals for our buyers. But it's going to be few and far between, where we're entering a much slower time in the market. Like the time of shooting this, it is July 14th. And this is typically when we see the market change. We're seeing the market trends change for the year because we're at about over 3.5 months of inventory. The most inventory we've seen the last couple of years is actually 18% higher than the same time last year. So every week right now, we have a lot more homes coming to sale than we're actually seeing selling. So this is the time of year right now where we see sellers need to negotiate significantly on their home sales, and we see buyers get a lot more deal on that. So when we're looking at the two different ticket prices, if you're looking at a ticket price of a resale versus a new build, not guaranteed, but more often than not in this market and for the next 6 months, as the market trends only one way from here on out, really, you're going to see a lot more negotiation room on the resale homes. But it's always going to come down to, when someone says, is this a good deal? I always have to pause and I have to say, in what context, right? Because when we're looking at different homes, I'm going to have a different perspective on what my tastes are compared to every individual buyer. So what you really want to evaluate, whether you're looking at a new build or a resale, is does it fit your lifestyle? Is it going to elevate your lifestyle? Because that's ultimately what you're looking to do when you're looking to do a new home. No one's looking to move into a new home and not improve their life in some way. So what is it that you're looking to get out of this new home? Is it the area as far as transit or your proximity to work, or is it the proximity to parks or schools or what have you? Or is it the style of the home? Are you very particular on what you like for finishings and you work from home and you don't really travel much and the location worries a little bit less, right? For me, I always revert back to, the 3 rules of real estate being location, location, location. And that only has to do more with someone who's investing or looking at potential resale value, right? That's where the location is going to matter the most. Whereas someone that doesn't always fit for everybody, right? If someone does, work from home or have other things where they really are more intrigued about the actual interior of their home, the layout, as opposed to the area, then it's going to fit a little bit differently. And you can definitely get that with new builds. But what are some of the other cons of new builds? Well, you're going to be looking at a bit of a speculation on the market, right? When we're looking at new builds, you're going to be basing the price that you're buying today on where you expect the market to be going and if that's a good deal. For example, you can get new builds that are ready to go right now, in which case that doesn't apply. But if you're looking at a new build that's ready in a year, in 2 years, then you're also speculating on what you see the market doing, right? And obviously, if you see the market going up, then it can be a great buy. You could be locking in today's prices and essentially only have to put the money down, or the full, after the deposits, the full mortgage is only going to come down when you actually close on the property. And if the market has gone up, then it's a win. Where a lot of people got in trouble is when the market went the other way and they banked on the market going up and it actually went down. And so then, you see it a lot more in Toronto, but it happens in Ottawa as well, where the homes are not even appraising for the purchase price and so on. And I don't think that's the market we're going into, but it's also something to consider, right? When you're buying a resale or a ready to move in, you're buying based on the market today. So you have the exact market data of where the market is, and you know where you are prospectively on where the overall market is, and you're able to have a little bit better insight and be a little bit more secure. So why is it that some people absolutely love new builds? Well, it can be a great choice for someone who isn't quite ready to move right now. If they're happy where they are and they know the neighborhood where the home is being built, and they're able to pick their lot and pick their design and pick their floor plan, then they're able to actually customize the house for them, and that makes a lot of sense. Flipping back on the other side is definitely on the ticket price of a new build. We're looking at lot premiums, upgrades, and all those types of things as plus, so something that you have to budget into. Whereas on the resale, you're going to have to get what comes with the house. And so you're going to have to budget for if anything is older or if there's any changes that you need to make. And right now I'm circling back a little bit on different things, but let me know what you guys think and what would you prefer, a resale or a new build?